Hi. If all this talk about AI feels a bit unsettling, that's kind of understandable. But we've been here before. Many times. We grew up with one phone on the wall, with one TV in the house, one. Then along came new things that felt a tad strange. Fax machines were meant to be the future. That didn't last long, did it? Email felt cold and impersonal and easy to mess up. The internet arrived with constant warnings of danger and fear and risk. Some of us remember when Pong came into the home and my father plugged it into the back of the TV. And then the computer games industry, which my kids loved. And who can remember the millennial bug? Planes were meant to fall out of the sky, banks were meant to collapse, computers were meant to stop working at midnight. And nothing happened. Social media, Facebook, being intimidating, putting your entire life online. So we've lived through it all. We've adapted to it all. And I put this to you. We're actually the most experienced generation when it comes to technological change. We've seen the hype, we've seen the fear, and we've seen reality catch up. So when something new comes along and borrows words from science fiction, it doesn't mean we're out of our depth. It just means that, as usual, the noise is louder than the truth. So that's how I want to frame today's video and all the videos I hope we can sit through together. Calm, no pressure. And with that in mind, let's talk about what AI really is in plain English. AI is not a robot. It's not a machine that thinks. It's not something with opinions or intentions or even awareness. At its core, AI is just software. Very clever software, but still software. The easiest way to think about it is AI isn't magic. It's just a calculator for words. AI is like a very smart calculator, but instead of numbers, it works with words. It looks at a huge amount of text that already exists from books and articles and websites and learns patterns. When you ask it a question, it doesn't know the answer. It predicts what a helpful response would be based on the patterns it's learned. And that's it. No thinking, no understanding, no consciousness. It doesn't know who you are. It doesn't remember unless you ask it to. And it doesn't do anything unless you type something and ask it to do it. Another helpful way to think about AI is a conversation tool. You ask it something, it replies. You can correct it, refine the question, or stop completely. You're always in control. It's not watching you. It's not making decisions for you. And it's not doing anything in the background. If you close the app, it stops. So for the purposes of this channel, when I say AI, what I really mean is a calm, optional tool on your phone that helps you with words, explanations, and simple everyday tasks, if you choose to use it. Nothing more than that. And in the next part of this video, I'll show you a few simple everyday tasks you can actually use it with. So now that we've stripped away the drama, let's talk about what AI is actually good at, in very ordinary, everyday terms. I'll give you 3 examples. First, explaining things in plain English. If you've ever received a letter or an email or a document and thought, I don't really understand what they're saying, AI can help. You can copy the text, paste it in, or take a photo and ask, can you explain this in simple terms? It won't replace your judgment. It won't make decisions for you, but it can translate complicated language into something simpler. Second, helping you write and reply to messages. Many of us hesitate before writing emails or messages. We worry about tone. We worry about wording. We don't want to sound rude or abrupt or unclear. AI can help you draft a message or tidy up something you've already written. I use it to say, improve the grammar on this. But you stay in control. You can change anything, and you don't have to send anything you don't like. Think of it as a second pair of eyes, nothing more. Third, helping you think things through. You can ask AI something like, help me plan a simple 3-day trip. Help me make a shopping list. It doesn't take over. It doesn't decide for you. It just helps you get started. And those are the kind of uses we'll focus on here. Just tools you can pick up or put down whenever you like. You're not signing up for a new way of life. Just borrowing a simple tool when it suits you. This part matters because a lot of fear comes from misunderstanding both the limits and the headlines. So let's be clear and careful. First, AI is not a source of truth. It can sound confident when it's wrong. It can misunderstand context, just like I do. It can make mistakes, just like I do. I'll stop saying that. So you never treat it as a doctor or a lawyer or a financial advisor or an authority. It's a helper for explanations and drafts, not a decision maker. You always apply your own judgment. Second, AI doesn't think or feel or understand. It doesn't have opinions. It doesn't have intentions. It doesn't know things in the human sense. When it replies, it's not thinking. It's predicting the words that usually comes next. And if something doesn't feel right, just ignore it. Nothing bad happens if you ignore it. Third, today's AI tools only act when you ask them to. Right now, the kind of AI you'll be using on this channel don't act on their own. They don't make phone calls. They don't move money. They don't change the settings on your phone by themselves. You ask, they respond. And most importantly, you decide. That said, this is an area that will evolve. You'll hear about AI agents and more automated tools in the future. And when and if those become relevant for everyday phone use, we'll talk about them calmly. And just like online banking, email and social media, the rule will be the same. Nothing is forced. Nothing happens without your involvement. And you always have a choice about what you use. For what we're doing here, AI stays firmly in its place. A limited, optional helper, not something in charge of you. So let's pause and have a little recap. AI isn't a robot. It isn't a mind. And it isn't something you'll be forced to use. It's simply a new kind of everyday tool. One you can choose to use or ignore. We've lived through big changes before. We've learned when things were useful. We've ignored them when they weren't. And we've always stayed in control. That's exactly the approach we'll take here. Nothing rushed, nothing clever, no pressure to keep up. In the next videos, we'll move slowly and precisely, and I'll show you how to put AI to everyday use on your phone step by step. How to ask simple, safe questions, and how to use it for everyday tasks that actually make your life easier. If at any point you decide that's not for you, that's fine. But if you're curious and you want calm, plain English help, you're in the right place. Take your time, pause whenever you like. And if this felt calm and useful, you might want to subscribe. That way the next video will be there when you're ready. No rush. If it helped, please hit like. It tells YouTube that you like this kind of slow, plain English help that is worth showing to others. So thanks for getting to the end, and I'll see you in the very next video.